Let's talk about that moment. You know the one. It's right before you speak, and you feel that deep, familiar urge to justify yourself, to cushion your words, to make absolutely sure no one could possibly misunderstand you. We're going to explore why that happens.
It's never just a simple no, is it? That single word feels incomplete, almost dangerous on its own.
So, instead, you explain why. You feel compelled to lay out the whole blueprint of your reasoning, hoping that if they just understand your logic, they'll accept your answer.
And when it comes to boundaries, you don't just state it and let it be. You feel like you have to build an entire fortress of reasons around it.
You end up defending it, as if your simple no, your simple need, is already on trial and you have to be its lawyer. This is what we call over-explaining. But here's the thing, it's not because you're insecure or overly dramatic. It's for a reason that goes so much deeper, a reason your body learned a long, long time ago.
Let's reframe this, okay? What if we looked at this habit not as a communication flaw, but as a strategy for safety? Because at its heart, it isn't really about being understood, it's about being protected.
Think of it this way. Over-explaining is an incredibly intelligent adaptation. It's a safety protocol your nervous system created to shield you from what it perceives as danger, things like conflict, rejection, or being misunderstood.
And what are those dangers? Well, the stakes feel incredibly high, don't they? We're talking about preventing conflict, avoiding rejection, not disappointing someone, dodging misinterpretation, and steering clear of another person's anger, or maybe the deepest fear of all, abandonment.
Underneath all those extra words, there's a very quiet, very old bargain being made. It sounds something like this. If I can just get you to see it from my side, if I can make you understand me completely, then maybe you won't be upset with me. Maybe then I'll be safe. So where does a strategy like this even come from? Well, for so many of us, it's an echo from childhood. It started way back then, in a time and a place where being misunderstood wasn't just awkward, it was painful.
Does any of this ring a bell? Growing up in a place where your intentions were always being questioned, where a simple mistake was treated like some kind of deep character flaw, where you constantly had to defend yourself because, for whatever reason, you just weren't given the benefit of the doubt, you essentially learned that you had to justify your own existence. And so your young nervous system did what it had to do to survive. It wrote a rule and it encoded it deep into your being. If I don't explain myself perfectly, I will be punished.
Now, when you carry that rule from childhood into your adult life, it comes with a pretty heavy price. It creates this constant draining performance, and there is a huge emotional cost to that.
When you dig all the way down to the bottom of it, you find this one single powerful belief. My worthiness and my safety depends entirely on other people understanding me perfectly. So this isn't just about talking. It's a state of what we call hypervigilance. It is the exhausting, nonstop job of scanning everyone around you for a shift in their tone, a tiny change in their expression, a pause that's a little too long, all so you can manage their feelings and keep yourself safe. This is actually a classic threat response, alongside fight, flight, or freeze. It's called the fawn response. And instead of fighting back or running away, you try to appease the threat. Over-explaining? Well, it's the verbal version of making yourself smaller. And this is how it shows up in the real world. It's why you might find yourself starting sentences with, "Sorry to bother you, but," or "This might be a stupid question, but." It's the sound of apologizing for simply taking up space. But here's the good news. There is another way to be. It all starts with giving yourself permission. Permission to be simple. Permission to have a boundary without a dissertation to back it up.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the justification. I can't make it, I'm so sorry, this other thing came up and I feel absolutely terrible about it. And on the other side, a simple statement. I can't make it. That's it. It's a complete sentence.
So the practice, it starts right here, with this gentle invitation to yourself. Just speak simply.
Now your nervous system is going to scream. It's going to feel wrong, unfinished, maybe even rude. And the work isn't to fight that feeling, it's just to notice it and to breathe right through the discomfort, to slowly teach your body that you can be brief and still be safe.
And after you speak your simple truth, you do the hardest part. You let the silence stand. You resist that powerful urge to fill it with more words, more reasons. You let your statement take up the space it deserves.
And this is the truth I want you to hold on to. You do not need to earn someone's understanding in order to deserve their respect. Your boundaries are valid all on their own.
So let's land here. Your words, just as they are enough. And you, just as you are enough.